I've been saying for years that I have a love-hate relationship with lived experience, because I do believe that it's vital, it's super important and powerful, and it brings real-world understanding and personal connection to issues that some people may not understand, right? But when lived experience becomes like the only lens that people can see things through, it becomes a disaster, and it becomes a very dangerous situation, which is one that I'm very fearful of RFK Jr.'s approach to substance use disorder, because he is such a big advocate of 12-step. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with RFK Jr. sharing that, the 12-step approach worked for him. But there is something very scary about him thinking that that approach is going to be a solution for everyone. I truly believe that lived experience is like a double-edged sword. Some of the benefits can be that it humanizes the issue, right? It provides insight that a lot of professionals just reading it from a textbook may not understand unless you've actually lived it. And it helps connect with others who have similar situations or who have been through similar struggles. I have seen people with substance use disorders who have been really excited that RFK Jr. has been so vocal about his past heroin use disorder. Now let's talk about some of the risks of the double-edged sword that is lived experience. So personal experience is not universal, right? We know RFK Jr. found that the 12 steps work for him. We know statistically it doesn't work for most people, right? And it can reinforce stigma and misinformation. So because he believes in this, threefold disease, spiritual malady that is the 12-step approach, it can lead to a lot of stigma of people, having to hit their rock bottom and, just all of the stuff that comes with that. And then obviously it can block progress. Like, we've made some progress here with harm reduction and with people, being able to have more access to medications like Suboxone and methadone that have extremely high success rates, especially compared to 100% abstinence. We know Yale even came out with a study showing that if you have abstinent-based treatment, it increases your risk of overdose by 77% compared to having no treatment at all. Like, that's crazy. I'll insert that here. So when someone like RFK Jr. is bringing, forth these ideas that align with his experience and not with the experience that we know works for majority of people, not with what we have decades of data to show what has been effective. If the 12-step approach was working, it would already be working, because that has been the default main approach that we've been using, right, for nearly 100 years now. We have a whole bunch of information that is out there for these policymakers, these people in charge to take a look at, but instead they just lead with their personal experience. And unfortunately for us in this situation, the 12-step worked for him, right? And that's great, like, good for him. But when people are leading from what worked for them and not taking into account anything else, it is extremely dangerous. 12-step model should not be the foundation of which we base any of our drug policies or treatment reform. Lived experience is valid, it's important, but it's not a substitute for research, data, and evidence-based solutions.